An all-in-one system. It's every loan officer's dream, man. If I could have all my marketing just kind of built into one thing, like a dialer and email and text marketing and video and all that. If only it existed. Well, I'm here to tell you, it does. It does, and it's awesome. And that's what we're going to talk about right here, right now on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast, Gizmos and Gadgets and More. I'm your host, Frank Garay, and we're brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. Here we go. I have Jason Perkins with me here. Jason, are you the big cheese over at Bonzo, which is what we're about to talk about here? Something called Bonzo. Are you the big cheese over there, the CEO, the numero uno, or
Yeah, we've got an amazing team. I'm one of the co-founders. So,
okay.
But yes, we the reason why we started this was because we're, myself and my co-founder, we were in mortgage and we were getting a lot of hiccups. Right.
Yeah.
And so, back in 2014, when I got into the industry, by the way, I followed all of your content ever since I got into the industry, which is amazing. You've taught me so much, but, we're looking at these quote unquote CRMs, tech stacks for our business. And I always say the mortgage tech was always 5 years behind real estate and then 5 years behind everything else. And so there's a lot of legacy out there, which great, it worked, right? It got the job done. But as our business evolved in communicating with real estate agents, building our business, then we turned into consumer direct, and then it's keeping in touch with your past clients and all these other elements of our business are wearing multiple hats. It's like, how do we do this effectively? And my CRM at the time couldn't, right? It's very clunky. It was hard to manage internally. And, even logging in was kind of a disaster. So, through my career, I kind of pinpointed things that I really wanted in a tech stack. And in 2018, we whiteboarded out an idea and started to build it. And that's how Bonzo came to be.
That's a big task to take on. I've got experience in building, tech products and things like that. And to whiteboard this thing out and go, okay, let's build it. That's not an easy thing to get done. And guys, I just want you to know that I am a major fan of this product. I just worked with Jason on it. In fact, yesterday, I think, or the day before, I can't remember, but for a commercial hard money loan company that I've put together, looking for the right solution. And when he showed this to me, I was like, just literally mortified at how incredibly perfect it is as a marketing platform for, a mortgage originator. It was amazing. And so I can only imagine how you must feel today looking at the end result of this product, which I'm sure is continuing to grow and evolve because it never stops with tech. Right. But, it must feel pretty neat to remember looking back at that whiteboard going, this is what I want it to do. And then being where you are today, looking at this product going, wow, this thing is pretty cool. So give us a synopsis. Like, I know it's hard. It's not so to say it's a CRM would woefully understate what this is. Right. I mean, woefully understate it. So how would you describe it though? How do you describe Bonzo?
That's a great question. And my good friend, Scott Shang, always like to say it's a conversation product with a light CRM built on the back end. And that's really what it is. It's a conversation platform. We're big believers in that people do business with people. Mm-hmm. And so if we can empower our voice at scale and have it simple on the front end, right? Because today we're communicating on multiple channels. It's voice, it's calls, it's emails, it's text, it's visual, it's video. And it's hard to pull in all these assets together, right? We're typically using multiple technologies. They're all in different compartments. What Bonzo does is that pulls it all into one center focus, one system, and it's a simple system. And really what it comes down to is that conversations drive those relationships. The more conversations we have, the more relationships we have. Relationships are the byproduct of trust, and we have more relationship and trust. We're going to have more sales and business and relationships. So really it's focused on easy conversations with management of your people on the back end.
Right. That's a great way to put it. I love that you say that too. Or Scott coined it, saying it had a light CRM on the back. Because I think when we think CRMs, we're just thinking the contact management, putting them in groups and doing these things and, sorting them or, prioritizing certain ones and that kind of a thing. It does all those things. Absolutely. Right. And it does it remarkably well. But what you guys have put together is you've found a way to combine so many things that are so important to us today. One example, perfect example, a dialer. Right. So a dialer, I want to be able to bring up a list of people that I want to talk to today. I want to be able to do it from my computer, push a button and have my conversations, right? Oh, and if I go to voicemail, I don't want to have to leave the voicemail. I want to be able to just pre-record my voicemail for the day or whatever, and just push the button and it leaves the voicemail and move on to the next call. You can spend a lot of money on dialers, right?
Yes.
Monthly, you can spend Phone Burner. I've used it. I do like Phone Burner. It's really great. But when I'm looking at your product, I'm seeing, well, that's for what I need. It's right there. It's
Right.
already built in. So you've got dialing built in. What else? Go itemize a few things that those key marketing things that we tend to pay separately for all the time that are stacked in this thing.
Yeah, of course. And, to that point, what you just said about the dialer, it's like a lot of us use 20% of a product, right? And so whether it's a video service or a text service and a phone burner service, it's like there's a lot to unpack there, but really we just need it for XYZ of our business. So we're using 20% of it. And we kind of take that rule around our system where we take the 20% that loan officers use and build it into the system, right? Nice. So within those elements, we have obviously text messaging with imagery, text messaging with GIFs, text messaging with videos, right? All those components that really visualize us. We have email, obviously integrated with your email. So that's a big thing too, is that when you're sending email from a third-party system, you don't want it to come from a third-party email, right? That's flagged over your name. You want it to come from your email because that's authentic. That's going to drive the conversation. That's what the email they see in their inbox.
Yeah.
So we have email OAuth. We've got obviously Power Dialer. We've got dialing one-to-one. We've got Power Dialer. We've got segmented dialing. So again, you're pulling up a list. You want to make those calls. If they don't pick up the phone, we have voicemail detection that will automatically drop the voicemail if they don't pick up the call. We've got video, obviously a big one, right? We want to create a video. We want to email it out to 50 of our people, literally click record, import right there, all within the system, no third party. And of course, voicemail drops, right? 93% of people do not pick up a phone number they don't recognize.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But 96% of people listen to voicemails.
Sure. So,
right. We want to get that voicemail in. And a lot of times we're using a third party. Within Bonzo, it's right there in front of you. You click, record voicemail, drop it in.
Yeah. I just want to say this right now for our listeners. You're probably in your mind trying to picture how this all looks, and Jason just went through a handful of features that are in there, and you're probably thinking, man, how many levers and buttons are in this thing? How hard is this going to be to use? And I tell you, when I sat through the demo with Jason and proceeded to buy the product immediately afterward, just so you know, that was the part that I think impressed me the most. Was the user interface was so delightfully easy. It was just so thoughtful. Like, oh, I have this person. Well, I think I'd like to send him a video. Okay, I can just push this button. Okay, push record. Okay, push record. Yeah, I like it. Sure. Push go. It's done. It was just very simple. The flow was very well put together. It must have taken a long time to work out the user experience in this thing. Did it?
Yeah. It's funny because user experience is incredibly important to us. And I learned by failure, right? And so when I was an originator, I was also, wearing multiple hats. I was helping our company build out our tech stack. We spent a lot of money building a CRM, all the bells and whistles and this and that. 60 days after we launched it, our adoption rate was 6%. Our feedback was it was too clunky. That was the big aha moment for me. It's like the next piece of tech that I build, it's got to be so simple on the front end that my 95-year-old grandmother can put a campaign together.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time on the UX, a lot of time on the front end, right? To your point, when you're going and building an automation campaign, right? An automation campaign can have all those elements: text, emails, videos, voicemails. But we want to make it very simple, step by step, and have a visual guideline and outline as you're building it. So yeah, as far as the UX is concerned, Frank, it's one of the most important things for us. Having ease of use within the system. You can jump in. It's very habitual. We call it the 3-hour rule. Once you're in Bonzo for 3 hours, you become a Bonzo ninja. We want it to be that way forever. Yeah.
Well, we're about to find out over on our. I hope I have about 5 Bonzo ninjas, by the end of it all. But you mentioned campaigns. Let's talk about that just a little bit. So I saw firsthand, guys, how simple it was to create the campaign. But let's talk about how we make use of the campaigns and how we integrate other things into the campaign. For example, some guys are buying leads from lead generation platforms, and And we all know that, when you buy leads, you're feeling pretty good about, okay, I'm buying these leads and they come in. But man, if we're not on those things properly, then we're just wasting money. But from what I saw in the system, you had these, you had a very easy way to create really robust, very, very interesting campaigns. I want to ask you this. Let's talk about campaigns a little bit. And is there anything for, there's probably a lot of peeps out there like, oh, great, I got to build another campaign. I got to think about what to say for 12 weeks or whatever it's going to be and put that in. Is there anything, do you guys help with that in any regard? Or like, is there any kind of made things that we can just let's start from here and then maybe I can adjust it kind of a thing? Talk to us about campaigns.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the benefit is, we've seen millions of records, right? People come through our system. We have, couple thousand users on our platform. And we are the owners and the leadership team. We all have a mortgage background. So we're constantly testing the best cases for campaigns, whether it's converting campaigns for your leads, whether it's in-process campaigns for in-funnel, and whether it's past close campaigns for past clients. So we have over 26 mortgage specific templates within the platform today. We're constantly writing more. We're constantly changing those and updating them. So to your point, what a lot of our users do is they'll look at our templates. They say, great, I like this one for converting Facebook leads, right? But I'm going to tweak it, make it my own, maybe add another event here, maybe a text here, maybe change the wording here, but they're basically giving the map in front of them, right? And they're just tweaking it a little bit, right? So for us who are so busy, we're like, I would love to create this campaign. More than likely, we have that template already in our campaigns where you can just kind of, just tweak it and make it your own. So the campaigns, and to that first point, Frank, in the campaign level, is that those campaigns can be used for any part of your business, right? So it's an automation campaign that's going to use those elements that we talked about: the texting, the email, the video, the voicemail drops. So when you come and create a campaign, it could be for your past customers, right? We want to make that empathetic, contextual in nature. We have those templates, but again, you can easily build them. Let's say you're getting leads from a lead source, realtor.com, lead pops, whatever the case may be. We have direct integrations with, I would say, 90% of the lead aggregators in our space. So literally it's you don't have to do anything. Our team actually creates the webhook for it. And so you come in, hey, I'm using this lead source. Fantastic. We're going to map them in. As soon as the lead gets pushed from that lead source, it's immediately getting pushed into that campaign. Within 30 seconds, they're getting that first text message or email or phone call out from the automation campaign.
Let me ask you this then. And this is, I think, and we can probably sort of wrap this thing up with a closing kind of statement from you, maybe. But let's talk about support, right? Yeah. Let's talk about anytime we, enter into a new cloud-based thing. I think a lot of us go like, okay, here I go. Okay, I'm gonna push the buy button. All right, and I know that this is going to take a minute, right? To get set up, and it's probably going to hurt my brain. And so take us through getting set up, right? Take us through onboarding and take us through the type of support that you allow, because maybe I want certain milestones to be in there for my contacts and my leads. I want to milestone them through a progression, so I can just look at any time, who do I have in this, in this column or in this category, setting things up like that. I mean, how do you guys help in that regard?
Yeah, great question. So we're really big on support. And this is one of my favorite. It was funny because we did a survey last year to our members. We call our users members. And we said, what do you love most about Bonzo? And they all said support. So I'm like, wow, okay, cool. At least we have a great support team. Yeah, it's great. And so we have a dedicated support team. They're available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern. They are your Bonzo ninjas, right? So instead of having to hire an internal admin to run your CRM for you, you have access to our team that are constantly being trained. They're using the system daily, and their outreach and their management internally. Look, everybody on our team internally is all using Bonzo for their internal systems.
Brilliant.
So they're all Bonzo. Yeah, they're Bonzo ninjas. Habitually. And so the cool part is that whenever you need them, I've got a question, I want to put together this campaign. To your point, I'm doing pipelines and I want, underwriting, and I want a specific message to send out when it hits underwriting. Can you help me set that up? Our team will immediately jump in. They respond in 3 minutes or less, and they'll help you set that up. On the onboarding side, again, we just don't want to give you the keys to a Ferrari and drive off, especially if you don't know how to drive a manual. So our onboarding is that we take 3 onboardings, right? Your first one is your introductory. Your second one is strategy. Your third one is making sure that everything is set up and working the way that you need. But we take a really white glove handhold approach to making sure that, we're building the moat for your business inside of Bonzo. Everything's working. You've got people on campaigns. You understand how our pipelines work. You've got your pipeline templates that we have created set in your business. We want to run parallel with the success of our members. That's the only way to be effective as a software company in this economy, in this world today, especially in mortgage.
Fantastic. And let's wrap this up with, I said maybe a closing statement, but we'll push that back just a second. Let's get to the cost, right? Let's get to pricing. Let's understand that. I know if you're a mortgage marketing animal member, there is a discount for mortgage marketing animals. If you're listening to us on the Loan Officer Podcast Network, there's going to be links down below, et cetera, to get to Bonzo and some information on how to get the discount if you're a mortgage marketing animal member. But if you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify or whatever, just go to Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. It's Loan Officer Podcast Network. I'm so sorry. Loan Officer Podcast Network.com. You'll find this podcast there and any associated links that you can access. So let's talk about pricing and the discount for animal members, an individual. What's it cost?
Sure. So everything's inclusive, right? So we have really 2 plans for loan officers. We have a pro and elite plan. Everything I just mentioned, power dialer, automation, texting, voicemail drops, all of that is unlimited within the system. Okay. So on the pro level, that gives you 2 seats, a team lead and like an op seat, LOA seat.
Sure.
That's $200 a month, but with the discount, it's $150 a month. So great deal. You literally get everything I just talked about included. On the elite
that's
plan,
cheaper than phone burner alone, just by the way. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. So you can get rid of all those other side techs. You can have it all in one. And then on the elite side, the next package up, that's $375 a month. That's 5 seats, but with the discount, that's $325 a month. That gives you 5 seats. So again, your team lead, you could have your other loan officer on your team, 2 loan officers on your team, maybe a couple ops people, but yeah, that gives you 5 seats within the platform.
Great. And if I need 7, I can just pay a little bit extra for each seat beyond the 5.
Exactly. So an extra seat on the elite is $65. Yeah.
$65. Right. And that's the way I was breaking it down with my partner and daughter, Katie, because we were looking at it and I said, but look at this, man. It's like, if you think about it, we're giving all 5 of our people, because we got a 5 seat, we got elite for 5 seats, which ironically is exactly what we need right now. I'm probably going to add another, but you broke it all down. It was like $70 a head. And you get all this power for everyone in the system. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Parting thoughts, Jason, anything?
It's well, first of all, Frank, I want to thank you so much for having me on and getting on Bonzo. We think your team's going to love it. And really, for any of those loan officers who are frustrated, right? We know we're trying to grab everybody's attention right now. We're trying to optimize our business. And again, going back to Scott, Shang, and I have a lot of conversations, like being smart about your tech stack, right? Looking at your tech stack, getting rid of the things that aren't working, investing in the things that are working. And what we need right now in this market are more conversations and more relationships. And we really believe that Bonzo can get you there.
Jason Perkins, big cheese over at Bonzo. We'll have the link down below at the Loan Officer Podcast Network. What is that? Verbally, it's getbonzo.com.
Yeah,
is that the website?
Yep.
Getbonzo.com. So if you're in your car and you're, you can't look at anything, get Bonzo, BONZO.com, and you can get started there. Thanks so much for being on the podcast, Jason. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Frank. My pleasure.
Great product, by the way. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, want to remind you too, check out Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Loan Officer Breakfast Club. I host it every Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Eastern. Absolutely free mortgage coaching to every mortgage loan officer, I should say, for every mortgage loan officer in the country. Absolutely no problem. And guess what? The Bonzo system works absolutely beautiful with what we go over on the daily, on Breakfast Club every day, which is something we call the Daily Success Plan. It integrates perfectly with our marketing campaigns and what we do. So would love to see you there at loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. That's loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. That's how you can get registered or find us on Facebook, and we'll see you there. With that, we're going to get on out of here. Jason, thanks. And we'll catch you guys here next week at the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. See ya. Bye-bye. We'll be right back.